In this video, 3 shocking hidden Bible teachings that explain the apocalypse, the end days, the last times, and trying to make sense of what's happening right now in the world. This is just my opinions, so I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments if you do. Thanks for watching. If you do, make sure you hit the bell notification on the side to send it out in the YouTube universe, and I'll see you on the other side. Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against the flesh and blood, but against the rulers, but against the authorities, but against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil. What's happening right now is literally a battle of good over evil. And there's really no other way to explain it, especially within the parameters of this. And so let's just read this one again. And what I want you to consider is that you're not alone in the way that you feel, even though the news, the algorithms, everything's designed to make you feel like you're alone. So let's read this one again. For our struggle is not against the flesh and blood. It's not against you and me. That's not who it's against. You and I are on the same team. We're all connected to God. We're all on the same team. So against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil. Always remember, God always wins, good always wins, God and love are synonymous, God always wins, and this really is a battle of good over evil. All right, this next one is Matthew 24:7-8 says, for nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are but the beginning of the birth pains. And the reason that I like that one is the last couple words that says the beginning of the birth pains. And when I try to make sense of what's happening in the world, the best answer that comes to me when I ask is that this is occurring to actually wake people up and break people out of, a multi-generational, really thousands of years, human history cycle of the few trying to control the many. And we're kind of at the precipice. And I think that what's important makes me ask is go, all right, what does God need me or want me to learn from this right now? And for me, everyone's going to be different. I have to tell you, mine's changed a lot since I had a baby daughter, and she's now about 16, 17 months old. And it's really made me think about all of my energy that I have on a 24-hour basis, and how we're habitually programmed to not live an inspired life. The word inspired is in spirit. That's what the word means, inspired. When I'm inspired, when I'm in spirit. And we're habitually programmed to not live in spirit. And then once I had my daughter and I was like, what on earth is happening in the world right now? Like, this is getting quite wild. And now I have a daughter. And at first it kind of stressed me out. And then I was able to take a breath. And I realized I had 24 hours in a day. I could only control what I could control. And I started investing all of my energy into being as creative and productive and offering as many solutions to myself, to my family, as possible. And my life really started to change in the last 6 months because of that. I've attracted just these incredible new opportunities, and I've just really devoted myself to being incredibly productive and as creative as possible, and asking God to move through me in my businesses and in my work and in my productivity and the things that I'm attracting into my life. And it showed me a lot that all of the challenges, God isn't trying to break us, God is trying to shape us. And so the question is, who are you and who are you willing to become? And I think that's what the birth pains that are happening in the world right now are going to happen for a lot of us. And I feel like it's almost like cosmically happening, because what's the purpose of all of this? It's self-realization, it's surrender in connection to God, and breaking out of this illusion. All right, so now this next one says, it's from 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit expressly says that in later times some will depart from the faith by devoting themselves to deceitful spirits and teachings of demons, and plugging themselves up into Zuckerberg's metaverse. And what I want to say is that we have to also look at what we think of as certain religious or spiritual institutions or churches that may be following the mainstream narrative of the mark. And ultimately, as we're all looking to make sense of what's happening in the world right now, all of us are looking to make sense of what's happening in the world. And the ultimate thing that I feel like I take out of this, now the Spirit expressly says that in later times. So what is this a warning of? As we're trying to make sense of the world, any spiritual path, any religion, any churches that want to become the doorway that allows you to connect to God or Spirit, like they're the messenger, or you have to move this way, what they're actually doing is cutting us off. It's like that old analogy, everyone must become a priest or a priestess. Everyone must. And so don't even take my opinions in the ways that I am elaborating on what this means to me. Go within yourself and say, and surrender. And surrender your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind by saying, God, I'm trying to make sense of everything that's happening in the world right now. Thank you for blessing me with the courage, with the creative solutions, with the financial means, with the constant growth, inspiration, productivity, that great things are multiplying in my life every day. I'm controlling the things that I can control that are happening in the world right now. And thank you. When we start to do this, magical things happen. The whole point, though, is the kingdom of heaven is within, and it's not in a religious or spiritual authority that wants to be the way shower for us to connect to Spirit, which is already within ourselves, because the kingdom of heaven is already within. And I feel like that shattering of systems and institutions in all forms is kind of a part of this whole statement. We're seeing people stop trusting things outside of themselves and starting to go within themselves more. And I feel like that goes back to the previous one on all of these are but the beginning of birth pains, that there's going to be nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and famines and earthquakes in various places, which makes you think that, you know, that God itself is the suppressed subconscious energy of humanity is creating these earthquakes. All of these are but the beginning of birth pains, though. That all of this is happening for us to go within ourselves and realize one simple thing, is that the kingdom of heaven is within. All right, so nice to meet you. My name's Jake. Thanks for watching this video. I know there's a million other videos on YouTube at every single second you could be watching, and so I appreciate you watching this whole video through. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments right there down below and where in the world you're coming from. I'm in the beautiful southwest of the United States. I thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit the like button, the bell notification to get notified for new videos. Even if you're already subscribed, you got to make sure you hit the bell notification to get notified for future episodes. And I'll see you on the next video.